What if, right now, an asteroid was heading straight for Earth? Not tomorrow, not in theory, but today. Could we stop it? Before it hits? Could we survive the impact? If we couldn't, or would humanity become the next line in the fossil record? A brief, intelligent species that saw the sky falling and still didn't change course. 66 million years ago, a mountain of rock and iron, 10 kilometers wide, fell from space. It struck near what we now call the Yucatan Peninsula, with the power of 10 billion nuclear bombs. In seconds, forests burned, oceans rose in walls of fire, and the world that had ruled for 160 million years, the age of the dinosaurs, vanished almost overnight. 3 out of every 4 species disappeared. The sky turned black. The Earth entered its darkest winter. That single day reshaped the story of life itself. The age of reptiles ended, and the age of mammals, and eventually the age of humans, began. But imagine it happening again. Not to a world of dinosaurs, but to a world of cities, airplanes, and satellites. A world where 8 billion people live, connected by light and data, dependent on a fragile web of climate, food, and power. What if the sky fell today? Does the Earth belong to us, or do we belong to it? It begins with a flicker on a screen. Astronomers first notice it 6 months before impact. A faint, moving dot on the edge of the solar system. A rock, 10 kilometers wide. At first, no one is alarmed. Objects like this pass Earth all the time. But within days, the data changes. The orbit isn't harmless anymore. Its path bends, slightly but enough, to place Earth directly in its way. They name it 2029 PX, a familiar visitor pattern in our telescopes. Except this one doesn't pass by. Its orbit intersects ours. Telescopes across the world turn toward the same patch of sky. Tracking stations update coordinates every hour. In observatories, no one speaks much, just the quiet hum of machines and the slow realization of what's coming. Governments call closed-door meetings. Scientists brief world leaders in private. No press conferences, no public warnings, not yet. Because the truth is worse than fear. There is no confirmed plan to stop something this large. Kinetic impactors, nuclear deflection, gravity tugs, all exist, in theory, but none have ever been tested. Against a rock the size of a mountain, the calculations say there's a 6-month window, 6 months until impact, 6 months until the planet faces what the dinosaurs once did. In cities, the news leaks before the governments are ready. Some pray, some riot, others stare at the night sky, trying to see the thing that's already seen them. And every passing hour, the object grows brighter and closer. It enters Earth's atmosphere, traveling 20 kilometers every second, faster than any bullet ever fired. A streak of white fire cuts across the dawn sky, visible from Africa to Australia. Then, impact, deep in the Indian Ocean, between Sumatra and Madagascar. Millions of tons of water vaporize in an instant. A wall of flame and steam rises, 10 kilometers high. The shockwave races outward at the speed of sound. Within minutes, Tsunamis the height of skyscrapers charge toward every shore. India, Sri Lanka, Somalia, Indonesia, all consumed by water and fire. The air itself becomes a weapon. A searing pulse of heat sweeps across the coasts, igniting forests, cities, and the very sky above them. The sound is beyond anything human ears can bear, a thunder that never stops. Within 2 hours, the waves strike Africa. Within 6, they reach Australia. Half the world feels the pulse. The other half watches the light in the sky and waits. But what if it hits somewhere else? Another path, just a fraction of a degree different, and the same asteroid strikes near the United States. It enters over the Gulf of Mexico, lighting the morning sky from Texas to Florida. For a few seconds it looks beautiful, a sunrise that came too soon. Then, impact. The explosion turns the sea to steam. A blast wave rips across the continent, flattening cities along the southern coast. Houston, New Orleans, Tampa, gone in moments. A magnitude 10 earthquake splits the Gulf Basin, sending shock waves through the Mississippi Valley. Tsunamis roar inland for hundreds of kilometers, devouring everything in their path. Forests ignite. Molten debris rains from the sky. Ash clouds climb into the stratosphere. The first breath of a planet, gasping for air. Within minutes, power grids collapse, satellites flicker and die. A hemisphere falls into darkness. The sound of the impact circles the world, once, then twice, before the silence returns. The fires burn for days, until there's nothing left to burn. Billions of tons of vaporized rock and sulfur rise into the atmosphere, spreading slowly. Across the globe, the sky turns from red to gray to black. Within days, daylight fades into twilight. Ash begins to fall, softly at first, then heavier, until it becomes a storm that never ends. It blankets the oceans, the mountains, and the ruins of cities still smoldering below. Fires die out as oxygen thins. The air cools. The heat of the world drains away. Plants starve without sunlight. The forests go silent. And as the smoke thickens, the temperature plunges. The age of warmth ends abruptly. The earth begins its long night. The fires fade, and the silence deepens. The glow that once covered the planet gives way to cold. Temperatures fall faster than anything life has ever known. In the tropics, rain turns to snow. Rivers freeze solid. The world turns pale beneath its new sky. With sunlight blocked, photosynthesis stops. Forests collapse into ash. Grasslands vanish. The food chain breaks. First the plants, then the animals that fed on them, then the predators that fed on those. Only the smallest, the hidden, the ones built for hunger and cold, survive. In the oceans, the transformation is worse. Sulfur and carbon from the sky seep into the waves, turning them acid. Coral reefs dissolve, shells melt. The sea grows dark and lifeless. From orbit, Earth is no longer blue. It has dimmed to gray. A frozen world, wrapped in dust. For 10 years, sunlight barely touches the ground. And through that decade of shadow, the pattern repeats. Heat, fire, darkness, and now ice. The same chain that once ended the dinosaurs has begun again. Beneath the frozen silence, the planet still moves. The asteroid's shock did not stop at the surface. It echoed deep into the mantle, cracking ancient chambers of fire. For months, the ground trembles, pressure builds beneath the crust. Then, the Earth begins to breathe again, not with life, but with fire. In Yellowstone, magma rises. In Iceland and Indonesia, fissures split open. Rivers of lava pour through the cracks, colliding with the ice and the ash above. Steam and flame twist together, sky and earth burning as one. Volcanic gases rise into the atmosphere, adding more sulfur to the poisoned air. The asteroid winter merges with a volcanic one. Ash covers continents. The horizon glows red at dawn and dusk, a world lit only by the fire of its own wounds. For centuries, Earth remains dim, scarred, and waiting. This is how the fifth mass extinction unfolded long ago. After the fires came silence, centuries of cold, dim light, but slowly the skies cleared, the dust began to fall back to Earth, the first warmth returned, and with it, life. From burrows beneath the ash, from caves untouched by fire, small creatures emerged, the survivors. Tiny mammals, fragile and quick, stepping into a world without giants. The forests were gone, the air thin, but the danger that once ruled the earth was gone, too. Freed from the shadows of predators, they adapted, they learned, they began to shape the world in their image. From those survivors came everything that followed: the great migrations, the rise of primates, the first sparks of thought. From silence came imagination. From extinction came creation. The disaster that ended one story began another. Without that asteroid, there would be no humans, no cities, no sky touched by satellites. The death of one world gave birth to ours. Today, no asteroid burns through the sky, and yet species vanish at nearly the same rate. Forests disappear faster than satellites can map them. Coral reefs bleach to white graveyards. The Arctic melts. Insects decline. Birds fall silent. Scientists call this the sixth mass extinction, the first driven by a single species. Our machines change the atmosphere faster than volcanoes ever did. We mine, we burn, we clear, until the balance that kept Earth stable begins to slip. The difference is scale and speed. What took nature millennia, we achieve in a century. If an asteroid struck now, it would only complete what we have already started. Could we stop it? We've begun to try. NASA and other agencies scan the skies every night. In 2022, a small test, the DART mission, proved a spacecraft could nudge a minor asteroid. It was a first step, but for a rock 10 kilometers wide, even nuclear deflection might not be enough. Our only real defense is time, seeing it early, acting together. The truth is, we already face a slower impact. Climate change, biodiversity collapse, resource depletion, they arrive not with a flash, but with a whisper. Each year, another small piece of the biosphere disappears. The warning signs are already written in the atmosphere. The asteroid was a visitor from the stars. Our crisis is homegrown. We have become the impact, changing the chemistry of oceans, melting ice that has survived millions of years, turning the air itself into fuel for storms. But unlike the asteroid, we can choose to change course. Every decision, every forest saved, every emission avoided is a small deflection, a nudge that could alter our planet's trajectory. The question isn't whether the sky will fall again. It's whether we'll still be looking up when it does. Life is stubborn. After every extinction, something new emerges. After darkness, photosynthesis returns. After ice, rivers flow again. The Earth rebuilds itself, molecule by molecule. It always has. But human civilization is fragile. Our survival depends on the thin layer of stability we've now disturbed. If we disappear, the planet will heal, but differently. A future intelligence may find our ruins and wonder who we were. The world is quiet again. The fires are gone. The ice remains. And in that silence, a question endures. What is the value of Earth without us? The first voice belongs to Anthropocentrism. The planet has meaning because we do. Without humanity, there is no purpose, no progress, no story to tell. The second voice, older, deeper, speaks for Ecocentrism. The Earth's worth is not in its use, but in its existence. It was alive long before you and will be alive long after. Then comes the utilitarian voice, balanced, pragmatic. Perhaps the truth lies between them. The Earth can serve us, yes, but only if we serve it in return. The debate fades into the wind. If an asteroid struck today, it would silence every philosophy at once. It would erase belief, but not balance. Forests would reclaim the ruins. Oceans would clear. The planet would heal, not because we saved it, but because it no longer needed saving. In the end, the question was never whether Earth could survive us, but whether we could survive ourselves. The sky has fallen before, and it will fall again. But this time, we'll know who we were when it does. And if you're still here, listening, looking up, searching for the stories written in our skies, subscribe and walk with us through the worlds that still remain.